This poem from Poetree holds the secret to survive in your darkest hour. When Churchill rallied the nation, he borrowed from Tennyson. And when you're drowning in burnout, regret, or rage, your lifeline isn't help guru. It's a poet that pulls storm poetry. This isn't just about loving poetry. This is about survival. In the next 40 minutes, you'll learn how 6 points from a short poem can rewire your brain for resilience. Why Frost's road note taking is a lie, and how to steal valor from the past to fight your modern battles. You've got 14 minutes. Let's rewrite your story. Hello everyone, welcome to the Reaction Room with Amy Fon. Today we are taking a deep dive into the poem titled Valor, written by Vincent Habier. I would want you to join me to the Poetry Show channel on YouTube to play the poem for you.
Storms dreary wake the deepest subtle minds. A frail, a miser, fragile, easily waning to despair. As such is a human heart. Hope rested in solitude, so long attained, so long forgotten. Lo, it glimmers amidst the darkest night, with might and formidable strength. Emerging, standing triumphantly, leaning over the horizon, where a bright path awaits. Forward, thou art not bound by the shackles of regret. Overcome. Reach the high heavens with Valor.
This motivational poem contains several profound life lessons and principles that promote a paradigm shift in how we might approach challenges. Let me explore these in depth. We're going to go back to where the story started.
Storms dreary wake the deepest subtle minds. A frail, a miser.
The fragility of the human spirit. The poem begins by acknowledging our vulnerability. A frail, a miser, fragile, easily waning to despair, as such is. This recognition serves as a foundation for the poem's message. By acknowledging our fragility, we develop one: self-awareness. Understanding our emotional vulnerability is the first step towards resilience. The poem doesn't just shy away from the reality that humans naturally experience despair and struggles. Then the second one is emotional honesty. The poem validates that it's normal to feel overwhelmed by life storms and dreary periods. This validation creates space for authentic emotional processing rather than toxic positivity. Let's go back to.
As such is a human heart. Hope rested in solitude, so long attained, so long.
The cyclical nature of hope. The line, hope rested in solitude, so long attained, so long forgotten, reveals a profound truth about the human experience. Hope isn't a constant state, but rather something we find, lose, and discover repeatedly. This teaches us Persistence through cycles. Life naturally flows through periods of hope and despair. Understanding this cyclical pattern helps us persevere during dark times, knowing that hope will return. The value of solitude. The poem suggests that solitude can be a space where hope is nurtured. In our hyperconnected world, this represents a paradigm shift from seeking external validation to finding strength within. Let's go back to the poem.
So long forgotten. Lo, it glimmers amidst the darkest night, with might and formidable strength. Emerging, standing triumphantly, leaning over the horizon. Where bright paths.
The transformative power of resilience. The imagery shifts dramatically in the middle of the poem. Hope glimmers amidst the darkest nights with might and formidable strength emerging, standing triumphantly. This vivid transformation illustrates contrast as perspective. The darkest experiences provide the backdrop against which hope shines most brightly. This represents a paradigm shift from avoiding difficulty to recognizing its role in highlighting joy. Internal power. The poem personifies hope as something that stands with might and emerges triumphantly, suggesting that our internal resources are more powerful than external circumstances. The video is calling us back, so let's go answer that call.
Emerging, standing triumphantly, leaning over the horizon. Where bright path awaits. Forward. Thou art not bound by the shackles of regret.
Regret is a teacher, not a jailer. The poem declares, "Thou art not bound by the shackles of regret," offering a profound lesson about our relationship with past mistakes. Learning versus self-punishment. The shackles of regret metaphor invites us to transform how we view our mistakes. Rather than using them as reasons for self-punishment, we can extract their lessons as valuable data for growth. Reframing our questions. This represents a shift from asking, "Why did I fail?" to "What did this teach me?" The former keeps us chained to the past. The latter propels us forward with new wisdom. The doing, learning, becoming cycle. There exists a fundamental principle. Before we can become, we must do. And to do effectively, we must learn. Many people desire to become without doing the necessary work, which is impossible. Our mistakes during the doing phase are essential data points in this cycle. Breaking the fear barrier. Many people avoid action due to fear of failure, creating a paradox where growth becomes impossible. This poem encourages breaking free from this fear, recognizing that mistakes are not just inevitable, but necessary for development. Let's go back to the video. That is where the story started from.
Emerging, standing triumphantly, leaning over the horizon. Where bright path awaits. Forward. Thou art not bound by the shackles of regret.
Liberation from past regrets. Building on the teacher not jailer concept, the poem offers guidance on how to achieve this liberation. freedom through forgiveness. We can choose to release ourselves from the past mistakes and regrets. This represents a fundamental paradigm shift from being defined by our past to being oriented towards our future. Personal agency. The commanding tone suggests that liberation from regret is partly a choice we can make, not simply something that happens to us. Let's go back to the poem.
Reach the high heavens with Valor.
Aspiration and transcendence. The poem concludes with an encouragement to reach the high heavens, which teaches us aspiration as motivation. Setting lofty goals gives us direction during difficult times. This poem suggests that our aspirations can pull us through challenges. Transcendence. This is an invitation to rise above current circumstances, to view life's challenges from a higher perspective where they appear more manageable. The paradigm shift. The overall arc of the poem represents a profound paradigm shift in how we might approach adversity, from victim to victor. Rather than being at the mercy of life's storms, we can emerge triumphant through them. From passive to active, the poem shifts being affected by storms to the active stance of overcoming and reaching. From temporal to transcendent, the final imagery of reaching heavenward suggests moving beyond temporal concerns to connect with something more external or meaningful. From fear to action. Perhaps, most importantly, the poem encourages us to move from paralysis caused by fear of failure to liberating practice of action, learning, and growth. This poem offers not just motivation, but a framework for reinterpreting our relationship with difficulty and our past mistakes, suggesting that our darkest moments and greatest failures can become the foundation for our greatest triumphs if we maintain hope and transform regret into learning. I'm going to recommend some books that will help you in your growth. And the first one is, let me get that. Okay. Then the first one is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. The book explores how finding meaning helps us transcend suffering. Then the second one I'm going to recommend is titled Mindset: The New Psychology of Success, written by Carol Dweck. It actually aligns with the poem's message about learning from mistakes rather than being shackled by regret. Dweck's research on growth versus fixed mindsets provides scientific backing to the idea that failures are stepping stones. In the spirit of celebrating women this month, I would like you to go to our website www.poetree.ca to post the poem Celebrating Women. Don't also forget to follow us on our social media platforms that are displayed on the screen. And if you like our poem, or if you just like the video you watched, I would want you to give us a thumbs up and share with your friends to remind them that they don't have to beat themselves up about their past mistakes. And I would also want you to subscribe if you haven't done so, And click on the notification bell so that whenever we post our poems or make any post at all, or even our reaction videos, you'll be the first to get notified. Alright, till we see you on the next video. Bye for now.